Welcome to Anguilla. For the next 2 weeks, we're going to be on this amazing island. But on today's episode of The American Dream, we're showcasing where the whole show started, America's finest city of San Diego. And we're going around with Seth O'Byrne. You've seen him on the show before, top realtor. He's going to showcase one of the coolest projects you've ever seen, from commercial to residential to luxury, the park. Projects you've ever seen in Southern California. Got a great show for you. Let's start the American Dream right now.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain in the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about the show? It's totally unscripted.
On our national show, The American Dream, we love celebrating the stories of cool real estate. We do shows in Miami, New York City, Chicago, all across the country. When we talk about this unique niche, high-rise luxury, he's the man right here, Seth O'Byrne, joining us in Anguilla. So talk to me about that unique real estate.
Yeah, so high-rise living has been huge, all across the country for almost a century. And what high-rise living really understands is when you want to live in an urban center and you've got to put a lot of people there, you got to go vertical.
Yep.
But San Diego being late to the high-rise game, it gave developers like Zephyr the opportunity to do it in a way that people live now. And that means large balconies, big outdoor space, large closets. These are homes that are in the middle of the sky, but they feel like a mansion in the middle of Rancho Santa Fe or Costa de Casa. And so I think that's what's so exciting about this building and why I'm excited to show it.
All right, man, well, let's go give it a look.
One of the things that in my previous career that I brought to the San Diego market, it's one of my proudest moments, was I actually brought the indoor-outdoor living piece to the San Diego market. We're in Hawaii and I'm seeing these huge sliding glass doors that completely pocket into things, and it's indoor and outdoor living. And I came back and I said, why aren't people doing that in housing? In San Diego, we got better climate that they do in Hawaii.
Buyers, they all want the same thing. They want walkability, they want interior and exterior architecture that matches the quality of their lifestyle, and they want privacy and exclusivity even within their building. And so what differentiates our building from many other luxury buildings in the marketplace is we really are trying to attract a single buyer profile. We wanted to create a building that, the buyer profile is fairly homogeneous, it shares common goals, and because they share common goals, we're able to create a lifestyle for them there that they appreciate and recognize and find value in.
Unobstructed views, and it'll never change. It will never be developed. You feel like you're living in the trees at Balboa Park, which is really a cool feeling.
Not a bad house here at the Four Seasons in Anguilla, huh?
Yes.
Awesome renderings. What a cool project. What's it like in person?
Yeah, the park is amazing. I mean, if you think the renderings are impressive, you're about to see what this property looks like inside. And the materials they're peerless. You know, there's so many great high-rises in San Diego that I think all of us downtown real estate brokers are really proud of. But this project is really one of a kind. The geometric patterns, the choice of stone, the choice of wood, the full vanishing edge doors that open up overlooking downtown San Diego and the bay and Balboa Park. You know, the renderings were not lying.
Something you just got to go see.
Exactly.
All right, let's go check it out.
My experience walking into the park for the first time was almost like looking into the future.
Words fall out of my mouth, they drift to the ground and they don't make a sound.
San Diego has always been a celebrated town for the vacation lifestyle, for the relaxed lifestyle. What the park does is it allows San Diego to establish its own brand of sophistication. And the park has been constructed as a building to meld those two lifestyles. And I think it's the first time that an architect and a developer tried that and actually really succeeded. You're gonna see instantly that same level of quality that you have in your Manhattan home, in your San Francisco home, in your home in London. So what you have that is so incredible is a property that is going to be at the same caliber of any international property. So you can feel just as proud of the inside of the home and the exterior of the property of the park as you are any of your other properties that own all over the world. Bankers Hill has smaller buildings, which give you more access to views of the ocean, more views of the palm trees, the eucalyptus trees that line Balboa Park, and the views of the sky itself. And so there's a sense of being both urban and suburban all at the same time, and that's really what makes Bankers Hill such a special space.
The American Dream is a national show, but we give you local market expertise. Now you're going to hear from a top producing realtor in your market about what's going on in your neighborhood. Let's check it out.
And joining us now from the Sun City Center market is Kevin McPherson and Selena Taddigs. They are with Dalton Wade Real Estate Group, Sun City Center. Thank you both so much for being on the show with us.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you. Oh, absolutely. So, Selena, I want to start by talking with you. This is your first time on the show, so we want to get to know both of you a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your backgrounds. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in New York, upstate New York, moved to Alaska when I was a small child, spent 18 years in Alaska, and after all the winters and darkness and freezing cold temperatures, I decided Florida was the place to go.
Kevin, what about you? Why did you end up in Florida?
Well, I was born and raised in Michigan, and same thing, the dark, the cold, and so on. I was a builder for 30 years, and after I shut my business down, it's just Florida kind of called.
Let's get a little bit more into it. Why, Selena, I'll start with you. Why did you choose real estate specifically for your line of work?
You know, I've been in sales my whole life, My father was a car dealer for 40 years, so I kind of grew up on the car lot, you know, learning all the ins and outs of sales and dealing with people, and worked for a lot of different companies throughout my career. For the last 3 years now, I've just been kind of pounding the pavement and making a home for myself out in Sun City Center.
Oh, I love it. And Kevin, you mentioned that you were a builder for 30 plus years. Why did you end up making the shift?
After building homes and doing remodels for 30 years, I decided it was a little bit too hard on the body at my age to keep doing that. I live in Sun City Center myself, so I have met a lot of people in Sun City Center, and I figured the networking ability that I had there, that I've already established, I just thought it'd be a great profession for me to get into, and it has turned out to be very well.
It certainly has. You two are doing fantastically well, and I know that you two are a team now. But Selena, tell me a little bit more. You said you've been at this now for a few years. What exactly do you specialize in? Are there any certain areas of expertise that you are focusing on?
Well, my father was my best friend in the whole world, and of course he's the reason why I decided to got into real estate. So after he passed away, I just kind of put all my energy and focus into helping as many retirees as I possibly could get into an affordable lifestyle over in Sun City Center. And that's basically what drives me every single day.
She's so popular. She has groupies that follow her around to her open houses. I'm serious. I was at one of her open houses one time, and it's like people are just rolling in, and I'm like, are these new customers? She's like, no, I sold them a house, and I sold them a house, and I listed their house, and I'm like, they just follow you around, and she's like, oh yeah.
Well, Selena, what a testament to you that people are so drawn to you and that you've done such an exceptional job for them that they're wanting to visit you, even when they're not doing deals with you, let's say. And, you know, we've talked a lot about Sun City Center and what a coveted place it is to live and to be and to play. I've never been to Sun City Center. Tell me about it.
Sun City Center is a pretty large community. It's about 11,000, 12,000 homes, has 6 golf courses. Like Selena said, it's active retirement. There is over 150 different clubs that you can belong to in Sun City Center. If you're bored in Sun City Center, you're going to be bored anywhere in the world. This place is awesome. Everybody there is equal. What you used to be isn't important. It's what you're doing there is important. And everybody there is just awesome. That's why I got into real estate.
That's the honest truth. I mean, I had to team up with Kevin because I was working in Sun City first. And then Kevin came in and got his real estate license, and everywhere he went, it was like, hi, Kevin, hi, Kevin, hi, Kevin. So I couldn't go anywhere without everybody knowing Kevin, so I thought I better team up with this guy and make sure that he doesn't take all my business.
It sounds to me like you both have this reputation. So I definitely think that it was a smart idea to team up. And the way that you talk about this community, it just sounds so special and so spectacular. And you're doing such a great job highlighting it. And we really appreciate you being on the show today. And I know that we're going to see you in the future. So we're going to learn even more about the community. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So when you're in Anguilla, you might as well drive around in a Four Seasons golf cart, right? All right. So awesome video, awesome project. Tell us about like what really goes into these things, because obviously you're the mastermind behind it.
Yeah, you know, it's all about teamwork. You know, no big project of this caliber can happen without a lot of good people, you know, and it starts, you know, of course it starts with our team, right? You know, we've got a great team, Mia Tidwell, Kiki Jones, Alina Mendoza, all the great people on our team. But we also enlisted, you know, a Hollywood director, Frank Kivo, who's obviously a really good friend of the show as well, and his creative vision was a big part of this. We used a company called Hollywood Special Ops who rented us some of the most exclusive cameras in the world.
Well, no matter where you are in the country watching the show, everybody loves just a cool story of luxury real estate. So let's just go check out the next clip.
Love it.
Here we go.
The secret behind the O'Byrne team is that team mentality. You know, we've assembled a masterclass team for this project.
We have such great technical partners. We've partnered up with Hollywood Special Ops out of Los Angeles, and we have some very special cameras on deck. Stuff that a lot of productions would literally kill to have.
So in the spirit of doing the avant-garde shoot that we chose for this particular video, it was really important for all of us to come together and have the right dancer and the right choreographer to really tell the story of the park.
When the dust settles, you will see that when people are looking to take on a project of this caliber, the O'Byrne team really is the only choice.
I know those weren't shot on an iPhone. So talk about the cameras and the technology that goes into this thing.
Yeah, so, when we worked with Hollywood Special Ops, we rented a Phantom Flex 4K, and that camera shoots at 2,000 frames per second. That literally means that you can count the number of confetti particles in the air. We slow it down to such an incredible speed, and part of why we did that is we wanted to give a dreamlike quality to this shoot, and that's very intentional, right? When you shoot a project like this, you want to make it feel like a dream because it's something that you aspire to, and that's why the equipment was so important, so expensive, but so important.
So important, and look, you're telling a story about the project, and these days when you're selling real estate, it's not just about an open house sign in the yard. There's online, digital, social, so you're creating that allure that's attracting people, and I'm sure international buyers as well.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, man. Well, let's go check out the next clip.
When we look back historically, we will say that the park was one of the most groundbreaking projects in San Diego. They really wanted us to create an immersive experience in this video.
When you're shooting at 2,400 frames per second, you can literally slow that piece down to where you can count the pieces of confetti falling in the air. We have employed all these different tactics to really create a special atmosphere and a special depth to each shot. We want people to be able to experience the shot.
When all the dust settles and you look back, I think it's going to be very clear that this building is on top of the rest of the real estate industry.
There's a lot of people out there who are going to see this and say, wow, I need to step up my game. And I think that's exactly what we want.
All right, Seth, tell us about the girl. I mean, clearly she is talent. She's worked with all these big names, and now she's working with you on a real estate project.
Yeah.
Explain how important that was.
Yeah, it was exciting. And we did it for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons we did it is because so few people go to that level. She's on the show Transparent. She's worked on Amazon shows. She's worked with Netflix. She's worked with Solange Knowles brands. And so what we noticed with her and what Frank Kivo loved, our director, was that she had a really interesting type of body movement. She danced, she was modern and contemporary, but she was very classic at the same time. And this building is modern and contemporary and classic and all those things. And so we wanted to choose a dancer whose movements were really emblematic of the building. And I think we really accomplished that.
All right, man, we're here. We're at the Four Seasons. You want to go in?
Let's do it.
Let's park the cart. Check out this next clip. Oh, we're there at the end.
You were perfect.
We're working with Charissa Kroeger, who in the dance world is incredibly well known.
When I met Charissa a couple of years ago, I had no idea of the profound impact she's had on the dance community. I slowly became acquainted with her and realized very quickly that she danced for people like Lorde.
You can see her work on Netflix and Amazon. She worked for Ford Motors. She was on the Ellen Show.
I said, wow, she has next level talent. I want to work with her.
There's so many people that bring her into their pieces because her movement is really peerless.
When the park and the Oberon team said, hey, we want to do a dance piece, I knew right then who I was going to use.
Drinks are here.
Thank goodness.
Perfect time to talk about the trampoline that was. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tell us about the trampoline.
Trampoline was important. When we got the listing of the penthouse, which is a 2-story penthouse, 30-foot ceilings, no one thought that we could pull off a trampoline as part of the property video. And when we assembled it, no one thought the builder would be okay with it. No one thought that it would be safe enough. Everyone thought someone was going to get hurt. But what ended up happening was it was the best part of the entire marketing campaign. And we were able to suspend our dancer in air. And at the same time that we're showing off the height and the ceiling and the volume, we're showing off the feel of being so high above everything in this high-rise.
Well, when you're marketing real estate and you're talking about high-rise living, don't people think, oh, there's not enough space? So what you did is you've created this very artistic way of showing space in a luxury high-rise.
Yes.
Awesome. Let's have these drinks. Check out the next clip. Cool?
One of the things that we really wanted to do was give that feeling of you're so high above everything else. The penthouse is a 2-story penthouse with 30-foot ceilings, and by bouncing our dancer on a trampoline and actually having her suspended in the air, we're able to really create this feeling of floating and being above everything else.
We're going to be going up on the catwalk. We'll be on the staircase. We're going to be on the patio. We're going to actually get on the trampoline with the dancer. I don't know what to expect. I hope that it comes out. I hope nobody gets hurt. But I've never been on a trampoline with somebody trying to film them before.
Although it's scary, I think after this, I'm gonna grab Seth. I'm gonna double bounce him on that. We're gonna wrap this thing.
So some fun talk about marketing, but let's talk a little bit about the market. The American Dream, a national show all across the country where we bring you award-winning realtors to give you expert advice on what's happening in your city. Next update coming at you now.
And welcome back to the show. Well, now we're going to be switching gears and focusing on a gorgeous piece of land with my next two guests, Meaghan Rose and Heather Breeze. They are realtors with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, Ashley Properties. Ladies, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So, Heather, I'm going to begin by talking to you a little bit about this property that we are referring to, or this area of land, I should say. It's called Anna Maria Island. Tell me a little bit more about it. Is this really an island, and where exactly is it located?
It is in the center, pretty much of the Gulf Coast. Like you've got Bradenton and St. Pete is a little above and north. It is made up of 3 municipalities. You have the city of Anna Maria, you have Holmes Beach and Bradenton Beach. You have about 8,500 residents in the area. And it's a beautiful slice of paradise, like right on the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, absolutely. It is an island that's about 7 miles long, but it's only a couple blocks wide. So it's this really cool island, but the proximity of still being close to Sarasota and Bradenton, you can actually get island living and not lose out on all the amenities of being close to a city.
So Meaghan, what would you say then is your favorite thing about the island? What are some things that people can do there?
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is go out boating, especially this place called Egmont Key. And they've got ruins there and tortoises and a lighthouse. So it's really cool to go out there with friends, with family, and just hang out with a day out on the water.
And for you, Heather?
Yeah. Well, you know, I actually love to go to the beach. Bradenton Beach is kind of like the heart, the center of Anna Maria Island. And I like to go to the beach with my family. And then we kind of go right across the street to a place called Bridge Street. And they have an amazing restaurant over there called the Anna Maria Oyster Bar. Some of the best seafood around, so that's probably one of my favorite things to do.
Would you say that it's mostly known for its gorgeous beaches?
Oh, absolutely. And the sand is warm, which is nice. You know, it kind of resembles, you know, like Siesta Key, for example, is a really popular beach just a little bit further south. But Anna Maria, you know, you have much of a smaller feel. The sand is white, warm, and the waters are blue as can be. It's beautiful.
Okay, so now that I'm drooling and half the country we know is absolutely freezing to death, how can we find out a little bit more about the properties on this island? Is there real estate to purchase there?
There is, and you know, whether you have a modest budget or an extreme budget, you can get anything from a small 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo to a massive single-family home on the island.
Yeah, and an interesting thing is no condo can be built over 3 stories high. So whatever kind of property you get, it will never be blocked by some large skyscraper or anything like that. So it really allows you to have that full island feel. And a lot of the properties have rooftop decks, which is just a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it sounds absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for highlighting this area, ladies, and thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks so much, Jen. Have a good day.
You as well.
So last week we touched briefly on fishing.
So fishing, we're not talking about fishing with an F, we're talking fishing with a PH.
So not only are the consumers being hit hard with the fraud, but the agents are also being hit pretty hard too.
There's actually a current lawsuit catching a lot of attention right now. WKMG out of Orlando actually just reported an Orlando home buyer lost $46,000 in a title company imposter scheme. The lawsuit actually blamed the realtor for a tax security protocol breach.
So basically what happened was an Orlando couple wired $46,000 as their down payment. They thought it was legitimate, but later then they actually learned that it was actually a fraud IP address.
The home buyers were given the information actually by the real estate agent, which is actually what caused the problem.
So check out our Facebook page. We'll have more information on the details of this case, and we'll also post a little phishing quiz that you can take and find out yourself if you can recognize the fraud.
Hey, we're Chip and Joanna. Oh, wait a minute. We're Ken and Tina Martin from Priority National Title, and that's your title tip of this week.
So, man, you've broken down all the components of it. Can we see the end product?
If I could throw to it, you can see the end product.
Well, I host a show. That's kind of my job. But all right, man, you've done such a good job. Take it away.
All right, right now you're going to watch a video that we did for the Park in Bakersfield, one of the most luxurious properties in all of Southern California, and one of my favorite video projects I've ever been a part of. Check it out.
I wanna come over, I wanna go out. You ain't gotta ask me, you ain't gotta know how. I wanna get fancy, I wanna roll high. Let's get hot, darling, let's teach them right. I wanna come over, yeah, I wanna go out. Living like tomorrow, it's out of mind right now. I wanna get fancy. Supply.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of The American Dream from Anguilla. This show has always been about real estate. It's been about lifestyle, but truthfully, it's about relationships. That's what The American Dream is all about. We're gonna go cheers now. Cheers to your American Dream.